I worked with Marilyn Darrow to purchase my home here in River Lights. She was the person that was in the model home when I walked in and fell in love with my house. I told her I was going back to California to teach for a year, and I was concerned about doing it from such a distance. She said it wasn't a problem. Marilyn was extremely calm, extremely reliable, extremely professional. I can't say enough nice things about how well she does her job. She made it so easy to do. People couldn't believe I was building a house from 3,000 miles away. After I built my home and got here, I've stayed in touch with Marilyn because she's my friend now. And
I would say working with Bill Clark Homes has been pleasant. That Marilyn has been so accessible. Jessica, our designer, made what could have been a really overwhelming experience manageable, and steered me towards, I think, really good decisions.
When I purchased this home, I worked with Debbie, and she was fantastic, especially for the fact that I was living in Minnesota at the time. So she was very easy to communicate with. She answered my questions via email or phone. She would take pictures of the house whenever anything new was coming up. And
that was nice.
And it made us really excited. Very, very easy. It was a seamless transition.
When we decided to move, we talked to Debbie Dorsett from Bill Clark, and we had a realtor who was working with us, Mike Smith. I had actually talked to Debbie a year before we bought our home here because I was starting to scope out neighborhoods for when we actually sold our house and we could move because we didn't want two homes. And Debbie was, again, so easy and pleasant to work with. She was, we walked in one day and she remembered me from having met her the year before. And I said, I'm back and I'm ready to buy. And she's like, I have a scout available. I said, perfect, let's go look. But we also looked at the other things that were available, but ultimately we chose the scout. She was great. She was easy to work with. I can't tell you how easy this move was. One of the easiest in our lives.
I worked with Amber Dunn. She was in the model home when we toured the neighborhood. She was incredible. She was easy to work with, and throughout the build process, since we were in Indiana, she would send pictures of our home every week as to the progress of where it was, and that was so incredible because it's a little nerve-wracking when you're trying to build a home from 1,000 miles away. So she really did a good job in communicating with us and sending the pictures. It was really, really, we were so thankful for that. But then
I worked with Amber on picking out the home, and she did an amazing job of keeping track of all the changes we had. I made a lot of changes, a lot of customizations, and she was spot on all the time with everything that I changed, and even had some really good ideas for suggestions. And then once we moved into the design center, Courtney was also great at pointing out options and selections, and once again I made a lot of changes and thought about a few things and then changed it, and then she was very good about keeping track of everything, and when my house was built, everything was like it was supposed to be.
Well, we started off with Kelsey Pleasant, who was amazing. And then when we went forward with the process, we worked with Jessica. And then when the house was under construction, Jessica followed us with the updates. And then Joe kind of worked with her behind the scenes. And the three of them together made the process really simple and convenient.
I had the best time working with the design team. They provided the best suggestions. They really knew how to let us decide on some things, and then when we were kind of stuck between this or that, that's when they intervened and gave a suggestion, and it was always spot on. It was fantastic. They also talked me off the ledge a couple times when I was worried about some of my selections, which was extremely helpful. So it was a tremendous process. Love going out to the design center. I love not having too many choices, but enough choices, and upgrades were available, which were fantastic. So that process was really amazing. And then my construction managers, they were fantastic as well. I actually talked to them pretty much almost daily throughout the whole build process. I would come out to the site, walk around, but really what I felt like with the construction team was that we were a team. And so maybe I would find something and I would make a suggestion to them. Never was it a problem. They were so willing to listen and address anything that I came up with. Even though I felt like it was too much sometimes, it was never too much for them. And so I can't give them enough credit for the whole process and that team approach that we had.